Clark Jr. live on Austin City Limits Radio. The other night in Zilker Park, you ended the show saying, "I'm Gary Clark Jr. and I represent Austin wherever I go."
Yeah, and I'll fight you about it.
It is clear, and you've said as much before, that without Antones, without this city, you're probably not who you are now. I mean, the trajectory was a time and place, and in the case of Clifford pulling you up on stage at Antone's, you were in the right place at right time, and then it's what you've done with it since.
Sure, but I gotta go back a little bit, because I always thought, I was gonna be in a boy band. I'd be dancing around, opening up for Justin Timberlake or something. And so I gotta give it up to Eve Monsey, because she introduced me to the guitar, and we came down here on 6th Street downtown, and she introduced me to my first blues jam, which led to me knowing about Antones and then understanding the history and Clifford and Susan and what everybody was doing down there. So, but yeah, you might have seen me dancing with Rihanna or something if I was like somewhere else.
Now if you're dancing with Rihanna, it's because you want to be dancing with Rihanna.
Right.
You've also said lately, because people have noticed that whereas people in your position often, this is an industry thing, they sell their opening slots. They take some extra money to give a band the break of opening for them. You've done completely the opposite and taken out nothing but Austin acts for the last 2 or 3 years, from Tamika Jones to Los Coast to Eric Tesmer to Black-A-Lack. And
Think no think.
that's something you don't have to do, but you say it's because of Jimmy Vaughn.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Vaughn and Doyle Bramhall, they took me out, on tour, and Jimmy Vaughn especially. I was right out of high school, and he basically, without saying anything, he was like, "If you want to do this for real and be a pro, come out here. I'm going to show you how to do it." And I was out there for a month. I drove my own car, Pearl Cadillac, stuffed me, James Bullard, and Jay Moeller, and all our gear in that ride, and we went out to Phoenix and went all over the U.S. And then he didn't have to do that, you know what I mean? And to not get so deep, it's like, no disrespect, I love other bands from other places, it's Fiona Silver and Jesse Wilson and a couple other folks, but like, I just like Austin musicians better. Oh.
And you have some folks that know home out with you and represent home, and you can take a little piece of home on the road.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we're out there and you just, it's nice to have other familiar faces outside of just us. We see each other all the time, and that's cute and everything, but, to be able to connect back home and have people out and, talk about what's changed and what's not, and, the different scene and who's doing what. It's cool to be able to connect when you're in the middle of Salt Lake City, you know what I mean?
Speaking of home, you're about to spend a bunch of time at home. Mm-hmm. We've spoken over the years a bunch of times about legacy and about whether they consider you a guitar hero or a soul man or a blues man. Mm-hmm. Legacy is your children at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I mean, what does that do to know that none of this really matters because you're raising what's going to be 3 kids?
Yeah, thanks. First off, I got to give credit to my wife, Nicole. But it's this is fun, running around and, being a rock star or whatever. It's like, it's cool, but, to blow bubbles and see my little girl, like, smiling and laughing and seeing them grow up and how precious and fragile they are. And it's like, don't mess them up, you know what I mean? Like, that's what matters, I can miss a note and somebody might go, he missed that note. But the kids, that's everything. That's all I got, at the end of the day. So it's family. So I'm gonna go and get out of here for a minute and just go be dad and husband and friend and family member for a second, you know what I mean? Sorry, guys. But I gotta do it.
For a piece in Texas Monthly not that long ago, you said to me, once you get comfortable, that's when you get lazy. And I saw you the other day say, I'm not the guitar player I want to be. I need to go practice. That part of this time off.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's a weird thing coming from you that you're not satisfied as a guitar player.
Well, I saw an 8-year-old bass player and a 3-year-old drummer, and I was like, oh, hell, man. It's like, I got work to do, you know what I mean? I might be out of a job. They're coming fast, man. So I got to, keep it going. And you can never learn too much. I mean, the thing about this that I love about music is you can always learn. If it's an instrument, a genre, it's something that'll keep me busy, and it's fun and a challenge, for the rest of my life. While I'm physically, mentally capable of doing it, I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
And you don't seem like one of those guys that gets bored with it. That even playing on 4 continents, however many shows this year, 150 dates, you don't seem bored by that.
No, there's always a buzz, if the band is flowing or rocking, there's something you can't describe that. If you hit a couple of notes and that tone is happening, it's something that I love doing, and I wake up and I'm able to do it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm fortunate enough to be able to do it. I get to make noise for a living. That's my job, and it's kind of dope. You know what I mean? So if I get bored with that, I have a major issue.
Again, gracious enough to join us at Antone's in the middle of the afternoon. People say they want early shows. We're giving them an early show.
Right here, yeah. It ain't even dark yet. That's not okay.
It's dark in here. Once again, live on Austin City Limits Radio, Gary Clark Jr.
Appreciate you.